Prentus, our mission is to make job searching fair, fast, and fun. So started, way back when I was doing my first job search coming out of college, and I had no idea what to do. Resumes, networking, all those different things. No one ever taught me about that. I didn't have Uncle Bob. So learning it was really a struggle, and eventually figured it out, but I wanted to build something like Prentus. So a couple years later, I became a career advisor at a boot camp and saw it from another perspective. It was like, wow, I see people just like me that have this talent, have the tenacity and grit, but they're not getting a fair shot at a job because they don't have those connections and they don't understand how the process works because there's all these unwritten rules. So I really tried to build Prentus to help guide the average person from zero, knowing nothing about the job search, to give them a structured path that is fun, where we have gamification, we have community built in, and now AI as well to help guide you on your path to landing a role out. So it gives you fulfillment. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to be okay with being low class for a long time. People come out of Stanford or Google and they raise $10 million an idea, but those are very much the outliers. For everyone else to build a business, you really have to understand that you're gonna get paid last, even when you have employees. It's gonna take time for things to work. You have to throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks, and you really have to understand that it's not gonna be a one thing and then you're done and you have a successful business and it's running. You are gonna get knocked down. You're gonna get no's after no after no, and during that time, you're gonna see other people kind of succeeding around you and wondering what's wrong with me. But it's really, you just have to be okay with the patience of it. And another part of success is just staying alive long enough. You see most people that talk about what separates successful entrepreneurs from those that don't. It's just that they didn't quit. So if you stay alive, you keep learning, you take the no's, and you go back to the drawing board each time. Eventually you figure things out. And some people it's 1 year, some people it's 10. But you just gotta be tenacious. There's a podcast called 20 VC. And he interviews a lot of different founders, and he always looks for kind of like trauma, honestly, in people's childhoods. And you do see a lot of times with entrepreneurs, like there's something in the household, or they're just doubted and upset by someone. So it's like a lot from childhood that really forms that personality. And then once you get to an adult, I think you still can learn it, but you really have to have something to prove, whether that be for yourself, for your family, for some other mission that's deep inside you. That's really what can help you be tenacious and survive through the punches. Well, the fact of the matter is, there's always new technology. Things are always going to be adapting to whatever the new reality is. With AI, I will say that it's kind of technology that's permeating way quicker than other technologies. So the change is more rapid. That's what's getting everyone to be afraid. But just like with all other technologies, yes, some roles will be eliminated, honestly. But as it gets into the system, there's new roles that will pop up. Existing workers become more productive. They can do more. It can be more productive in terms of ideas and working on more high value things versus admin work. So in general, I think that there's a bunch of different opportunity. The cards or everything is kind of shaking out right now, so we don't know exactly where in the funnel the opportunity will be. But in general, I think as long as you are someone that is quick on their feet and learning, then you'll be able to survive in this market. But you gotta stay on top of things because it is changing very quickly. With AI, it's like you can't just be like, hey, no more personality for me. Like AI is gonna do everything. Every employer wants to know, who are you? What are the unique attributes you're gonna bring? What are you good at? What are you bad at? That's really what they want to figure out. And with AI, yes, if you haven't ever created a resume, I think it's great. But even in our tool, we say, hey, this is a base to build off of. So hey, here's how your bullet was generated for your experience, for example. But put your own spin. What is your kind of tone of voice that you want employers to see? And then figure out, okay, what else my personality makes me me? So do that. And then additionally, just to make sure that like as someone that hires people, people apply like this. I'll see these kind of templated cover letters as an example as well. But when someone does something else that shows me they're human, like sending a Loom video or some other project where I could tell, hey, they've actually tailored this themselves, that helps them stand out. The more that AI grows, the more that the human component becomes more important, I would say. So we also have a community built into our platform. And I'm like, okay, how can we connect people that have no social capital right now because they come from a certain kind of community, and how can we connect them into new circles, open up those pathways, and get them talking about themselves? Because the old saying is, your network is your net worth, and I think it's becoming more true. So we want to help people there. And then I think another shift you'll see in employers hiring is, with kind of these AI applier tools, ones that just blast and apply for you. There's a lot more slop. When I post a job, you get like 1,000 applicants, and we're a tiny company. The Microsofts get 10,000 applicants. Like, it's a mess. So recruiters and companies, they're more like, hey, I want to actually not even post this job and just recruit myself. So they're going to be looking to tap into referral networks and just talent pools in general. It gets harder. So like, yes, at our company, we're trying to increase access to kind of this knowledge and helping people tap in. But at the end of the day, no matter if it's job searching 50 years ago or today, the people that do the extra 1% effort, 2% effort, those are going to be the people that get the top jobs and stand out from a pool of applicants. So big thing there is whatever everyone else is doing, or you zig when others zag. That's exactly what I do. So I would say my path was probably not ideal. So I went to work at American Express. I did data science for about a year and a half, and then went straight into a startup, founding it myself. I would say it probably is not the ideal path. What you want to do is find a job with an early stage startup initially. Because what's going to happen is, if you do that, you guys have to come in and say, hey, I will do whatever. You might not have any skills yet, you're early in your career, but just solve problems, make the founder's life easier and everyone else's easier, and you're going to learn and get an MBA times 10. So when you do that, you may touch marketing, you may touch sales, the strategy, each thing. But I would say get your hands dirty in one of those startups, and one, you'll have the skills, but then also you're going to have the network now to then find people to found a startup with after that. So that would be a recommendation. Do that for 3 to 5 years before jumping into a startup. The flip side of that is, the more settled you get in a certain lifestyle, the harder it is to start and go back to entrepreneurship, which, as mentioned, you become kind of low class initially. So if you start working, you get paid a lot of money from McKinsey or something like that, and you got this apartment, you have family and all that, then all of a sudden it's okay, it's scary to start a company. So it's a balance, start now before you have everything, or have more things and make it safer. So up to you. Might be controversial, but I think it honestly isn't too important. I would say you want to network with where you want to work. So for me, it's okay, yes, we had some international clients, and honestly, it didn't work out as well when it was just a sub-focus. So I think with anything in life, you want to be really focused in terms of what you want to do and work. So if you're hey, I want to work in sustainability in the US, then focus on that country. If you're hey, I want to build farms in Namibia, so really focus on that. But if you try to go everywhere at once, then you should become kind of, too general without becoming a specialist, and specialize in something. That's really what the money's at. Each person has their kind of way of learning. I've always been learn by doing. When I was writing my first programs, they're oh, you have to write and do all this logic, and I'm just gonna keep trying to compile until the code actually works. So that's my learning style. I'm okay, instead of doing a full tutorial, let me just try to build something, break it, and then eventually it works and you figure it out. So I would say with education, you want to, yes, learn, but then always make sure to apply it, and then talk to people, which goes back to networking, about what they're doing. Because if someone's been in the industry for 10 years and gone through all the mistakes, and they can give you a sliver of those 10 years of experience, then they're going to save you a lot of time and accelerate your learning journey. So yeah, but always continuous learning is essential to survive in this age. You do learn new skills. Putting a certificate, at least in my opinion, is not that impressive, but it's what did you do with that certificate? Did you build something? Or hey, how did you leverage that to something else? So when everyone, again, is going out and learning at these degrees and checking a box, it's okay, what are you doing specifically with it? Because if you can apply that knowledge in a unique way, that's what's going to help you stand out. That's what I'm seeing on a resume or your LinkedIn and be okay, wow, that person's interesting. I want to have a conversation with them to figure out what they're building. And as an employer, you also want to invest in talent that you see is on an upward trajectory. Because you're okay, if I get them now, they're gonna expand my business and make more money, and you want to be part of their career. So show that, and you will attract the right types of companies and employers.